price action here, and we just want to take advantage of the moment of pretty much breaking down this current structure here. So what we've been noticing lately is the fact that sell confirmations with gold is essential in highlighting a few key things. For example, we are in some sells right now. Um, but the one main reason since Sunday I've been saying that, hey, there is a potential buy for gold, but I'm mainly looking at sells, not just because there's a gap here, but the main thing was the fact that whenever gold starts out respecting or rejecting the New York session highs, that is your sign to take sells. And you will find some really good sell opportunities by jumping down into the 1 minute or the 3 minute time frame. And then you can start scaling from there. And your stop loss goes above New York session highs. This is not the first time this has happened. Obviously, you can target a 1 to 2, 1 to 1. Typically, these setups usually last 12 hours, even, well, up to 12 hours. But as you go to a higher time frame, you will notice the bigger picture, how price will reject the range, especially like from a previous week highs. Just because you are anticipating buys doesn't mean the market might not just sweep above the previous day highs and give you a sell opportunity as well. So that is why on Sunday we were anticipating this, and I'm glad it's playing out. Shout out to you, Emmanuel, for catching it. I'm not sure if Gloria, you've caught it as well. Let's see if there's anybody else here. It's not too many people here, but I wanted to highlight this specific behavior. These are confirmations for different occasions when you're learning to catch a setup because of how it keeps repeating. All right. This was not out of nowhere. This is not luck. This was not coincidental. It's just repetitive. It's just repetitive. We saw it right here in May. Well, we're still in May, but we saw it right here in the beginning of May, second week of May, if we want to be super accurate. It started right here as well. Look, Thursday, May 7th, Friday, we have Monday, New York. I can even move this right here. We can see the range and the highs. So now what happens when the market goes up to sweep Monday's New York highs or Monday's New York highs plus Friday and Thursday's highs of last week and leave behind a wick? When price starts to do that, you have all the confirmations you need, especially if it's wicking that session high in Asia. If it's wicking that previous session high in Asia, you got yourself a counter trade sell where you can put your stop loss above that previous wicked high. All right. And of course, you're targeting these lows within uh, the levels that you see where the price action came from not too long ago. All right. So if price is sweeping session highs and it's targeting and sweeping 4 hour highs, then it's more likely going to be heading towards 4 hour low. Now, how long does that take? If you're a scalper, if you're just catching this move right here, you catching your 200, 400 pips, two candles, that's fine. But know that in 2 hours, you got yourself a beautiful session, a beautiful opportunity to make the most out of it, right? Now, for those who are going to swing trade the setup, like in 12 hours from the 9 p.m. Asian session entry, man, 9 to 9. You out here clocking the 12-hour shift, 9 to 9 in the morning. That's what a 4 hour session sweep does. It sweeps up top, means now it's going to head back into the structure low. All right. 4 hours supplies get swept. All right. We're looking at 4 hour demand. All right. Everything in between and on the inside is a target. All right. So this is not coincidental. I'm glad some of you guys were able to get in this trade. It's laying out very well. Ain't no telling that price might pull back up, but still, that retracement would still just be a retracement for continuation sells. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes. Mm.
You know, I'm big on behavior. Like, if it's anything that we learn from this market is like, if we learn from what it's doing and we keep catching the patterns of how it keeps repeating the same thing, and we're like, okay, okay, because that helps you to know how to basically anticipate what to do. All right. And then from there, if you're a scalper, okay, you catch a little bit of that move because you know that you're catching the move and you're not just jumping in just to jump in and say you scalp it.
Hans,
Right?
have you heard this before?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's true or not, but I had heard this. If, like, say the 4 hour or the daily is buying,
Mm-hmm.
they always say it's doing the opposite in the 5 or 15 minute because it's buying over there. So, what is it doing over here? Selling. I'd heard that on the YouTube thing.
Okay.
Does
Everything
that
is
is that
context. Everything is context. It's not Bible, right?
okay?
It's just like, oh, if you hear Pennsylvania is raining, then New Jersey is raining or New Jersey is sunny. It's not always the case, right?
You know, yeah.
So, right. So if you see that is buying and you're in a trend, you know that on a smaller time frame, yes, there might be some, break and retest, retracements going on or whatever, but it's when price makes it out of the range. Most times you'll notice that even though price is bullish on a higher time frame, but in the smaller time frames, you might be seeing retracements, things like that be happening, right? We know that. Um, Another thing I wanted to say about that is what happens when the liquidity gets swept outside of the range and price returns back inside. So that's what happens usually when we know on a higher time frame price is retracing and selling to make a higher low, but on the smaller time frames, we might be able to find opportunities for sales because we know on a higher time frame structure is pulling back and selling to make a higher low just to make itself back to demand. You get me? So that's where the context matters in the saying. Not to say they're not right, but when you say that and somebody hears it on a 30-second short and they just take that as like gospel, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, I see it's buying. I'm just gonna get in sales. No context. You're gonna get into a car accident.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no problem. You know? That's why I take my time to explain some things to you guys. I'm like, yo, if price is selling here, why did it sell? We noticed that once it made it up here, it basically swept above this high. And because of that, we saw a break in retest. Then all this means once we sweep, break and retest, we're bound to head back into lows where price action came from. Even though I know once it makes it to demand, we might buy, but once price sweeps any zone, it's gonna reverse. Price sweeps the lows of a demand zone, watch them sweep, break, retest, and head back up. They might even come back maybe sometimes, but then they're going to continue to the upside because once price sweeps a zone, it's bound to reverse. Okay.
You know what? You call her Quells. I don't know her real name.
Yeah, Jaquel. Her name is
Jaquels.
Jaquel.
She always puts on there. So she goes to the daily lows, the low and the
Mhm.
high.
Okay.
So you go to, you've said go to the 4 hour lows and highs, right?
Mm,
Well, that's where my turn.
hmm.
Was that what Jaquels does? She says when it hits the low or the she does buys. You say she does buys. She does
No,
buys.
she does buys, but she
Yeah,
waits until a scenario happens that she understands.
at the low.
Right. So
Okay.
like she'll definitely hit buys if she sees prices sweeping the demand of 4 hours time frame,
You
the
know,
4 hour time frame.
I don't know this stuff. Sometimes you just have to understand the structure, the way the structure works. Okay, that's why even when sometimes my prediction, I've been predicting the markets, accurately most of the time. So even sometimes because I know that even gold is gonna sell out, and I knew that for sure they're gonna sell out. You understand? But it depends what time you get in and what time you get out. You understand? Because if you look, I trade like in 4 hours. I look at the 4 hours, structure, the 1 hour, the 15 minutes, and the 5 minute. That's how I do my trades. So that's why even before the market even comes into my area, I already put like a buy limit or sell limit, based on the structure. So no one's gonna tell you when to trade, how to trade. You just have to understand how the market works.
Yeah, the
You
thing
Okay, I
about
didn't
understand?
mean to
Gloria,
interrupt you. What you were saying is just because I was reading some of the messages and her post, her videos, and I was watching.
the thing
So,
about Gloria, she takes in a lot of information. She takes it in. And then once she's
Mhm.
done, she's like, oh my God, okay, so what do I do now? Because there's so much information.
Yeah, I
That is
know.
why I've learned when I'm teaching everyone, I speak clearly and I say why and I say when and I say
Well,
what time. So now you have data and you have structure in the statement that I just made. You get me? It's
I
almost like
understand.
you
I
got to make
understand.
sure when you're teaching, not out of disrespect, but you got to speak to somebody like you're
Yeah.
teaching them how to drive.
Well, I'm not a teacher. I understand data anyway. I do
Yeah,
data,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
for me, it's different, like I do data all the time, so like when it comes to data, that's my thing. That's why, I do
yeah,
what I do, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah. And
I'm
it's
pretty much
it's
in,
like
have you seen my view from here?
I've seen your view.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But when it
That's
comes
fine.
to teaching a crowd, when you look at an audience, let's say you are on Zoom and you see 10 people, your goal to the best of your ability is to speak one language where everyone understands. You get me?
Well, it's part of your video anyway, so it's okay. I got it.
I know it is, bro. We're
I
just
got it.
having class right now. We're having class.
Yeah.
I know you
Well,
got it. But
Gloria, you're gonna get it. Trust me, you're gonna be profitable one day. I promise you. If you stick with him, he's my
oh,
boy.
I am. Yeah, I am.
He's like, he's gracious to everything. You know what I'm saying? He's good. I'm not good at teaching. I'm good at prediction. Look at the market predicted, but he's good at teaching. I don't teach.
Oh, yeah, he is. I
Uh,
did ask lots of questions before, but I'm gonna
uh,
start.
yeah,
yeah.
I promise. If you stick with him, maybe a year from now, maybe 6 months, 6 months from now, you're gonna be knowing what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
be
be.
like
Gloria's been
Alice.
around for
Yeah,
5 years now. 5 years.
I'm gonna be like Alice.
Yeah,
When
but
te-
Alice also has her own things. I just want y'all
yeah,
to understand something, guys.
each one is different.
I don't come here to glorify that I can teach, right?
No, but
My biggest,
you're a good teacher. Just take
Hmm.
it. Just
yeah, I
take it,
know, bro,
okay?
I know. But
Just
let
take
me
it.
make that point. My biggest tick is that I'm hoping that what I'm saying is simple and clear enough for you to go back and do it by yourself. Now, despite personalities, sometimes I might check in some people, like for instance, D or Gloria, and I find out, yeah, Hans, you know how to teach. Like I mean, you're giving, you're preaching, but I just like to do my own thing. You get what I'm saying? So
Mm.
now where I'm finding out, okay, it's not me, but I need them to see that what I'm saying in simple terms, add it to your calendar, add it to your book. So that way you can be profitable. Even if you're a scalper, even if you're an intraday trader, even if you're scared, just show up, mark your charts, and remember what I said. For
Hmm.
example, hey, I remember he said price does have the potential to buy. But if I'm noticing that in Asia, price didn't even go above New York highs, then I should be looking for sells. Okay, now I know it's like, I know I don't know the city, But I remember they said, if I get to the Wawa and there's a Cadillac on the left, I'm supposed to make a right. I know I'm a driver and I know I do my own thing, but you're gonna remember those directions. Now, when I know in my heart of heart that I said it so simply and I gave those directions, and you at least if you follow that direction, you're gonna make some money, then at that point, my heart is clear. My conscience is like calm. Why? Because I remember telling this to you over and over, even if you like to do your own thing. You get me? That's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. Because a lot of times people hear stuff like, oh, yeah, you got to watch the video. Or, hey, like you got to understand structure. But sometimes they're like, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? I've seen everything. I've heard everything. I've even seen structure by myself and it didn't work. And so now you have to hear the fear, you have to hear the trauma, and then you have to try and push that out and still get them to see the road. That is the art of teaching that a lot of people don't understand how someone is good as what they do. Because I'm hearing when you're hearing what people are saying, people are not just saying what they're saying. They're telling you fear, uncertainty, doubt, self-sabotage, unsure of themselves. Sometimes they're telling you overzealousness. Sometimes they're telling you greed. You can hear it. Some word choices literally tell you the person. They don't realize it. But because you've been doing something or you've been there before, you can kind of see things and pick it out like, hey, instead of saying this, how about we see it like that? Instead of doing this, how about we downgrade to this? And let's find the results from there. Now, if the person is able to like listen and want to actually follow the directions because they see obviously their success and the person clearly has a track record to be credible to hear, then you're gonna see results. And so that's you, Emmanuel. You get me? You know I got the results. You've seen the repetitiveness, and you are able to follow it.
For me, like one thing I like about you,
Hmm.
even with your loss, you still, remember, like, was it like a 60K or 50K
Yeah.
when you make that loss and stuff? You see, show it out, like, okay, the market is gonna gonna be pretty to you. You know what I'm saying? Even like I've done some prediction anyway. You pretty much see my post anyway. Whatever thing I post, I took that trade, I make money. But sometimes it might not go your ways and stuff, and you end up losing money. That's one thing I respect about you, because most of the time online, people post their profits, their losses.
Hmm.
You understand? And sometimes it's okay for you to lose, so to even lose money. It's okay. If the person is bad, sometimes you even go to depression and stuff. Like sometimes even like there's a fear for you to even press the button of buying or sell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But for me, my courage is comes to you. Like, okay, if my mentor can go through that, well, you understand. You understand pretty much. My history. My daughter. Lost me like what 11K. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You know about that and stuff
Yeah.
anyway. I've lost more than that too. But sometimes like you look at it like, okay, it's not gamble because like if you gamble, you're gonna be losing all the time. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
But if you understand the market, like if you understand the structure, if you understand like the because sometimes it comes to emotion. Sometimes like even to the goal, I know that goal is gonna be selling. But they came to my stop loss, they sweep my stop loss, and they started selling.
Right.
It doesn't mean that my prediction was bad.
Right.
It means like the time that you got in, the time you get out. You understand? Even today, like today, I did like three trades with Nas. It's on the chart. You understand?
Hmm.
But it's come up pretty good. It doesn't come with my knowledge because like as much as I know I'm smart. But you have somebody who's smarter than you. You listen to the knowledge and stuff anyway. I understand, like, that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes it's not because sometimes like every time I go to my video to your videos and look them like every weekend, that's what I do. I study every videos every weekend. Oh, this one I said. This one has even sometimes I don't even get um my prediction to go to my stop loss. When you get to certain amount, I get it. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I say like as long as that money is not in your bank account, it's not your money.
Correct.
It's never been your money. You understand? So I understand that. Like trust me, like that's what I'm saying. Like the amount of respect I have for you, like you don't know how much life you have changed. Not just me. Understand? Because my life has already changed anyway.
Mm.
But I'm pretty much in the country right now. The view is good.
Where are you?
I'm in Peru right now. I'm Peru
He
right
in
now.
Peru. This man
Yeah.
living life.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes, like well, I already lost so many accounts. You know how many thousand I've already lost? So much. You remember I used to come to you and cry.
Right.
Bro, he told me like, this is part of the game. I remember the first time I lost like 2K. He said,
And I
bro,
told
like,
you congratulations.
congratulations. Exactly. I was so mad. I was so mad. Like somebody losing 2K. He says, congratulations. I was so mad about it. Boy, like I learned one lesson from me. Like, trust me, like some of us like winning now, it doesn't mean like I started telling you last year, you know that. Last year. I've not been in the game for a long time. But that's what I'm saying. Like when you keep up with hands, I'm not saying you're gonna be winning all the time, but your life is gonna change. Because like the game, even sometimes hands lose like more than us anyway. Hands losing like 60K. I'm like, he's still coming to the Zoom and pretend like nothing happened. I'm like, bro, like how do you do it? You know what I'm
Well,
saying? I
yeah.
I lost like like my highest loss was 17K. I was in depression. But when I said I lost like 60K, I'm like, bro, Jen, you know what I'm saying? Like at this if I have like 60K, I'll be in Africa, I mean like, whatever, what I'm saying? But like at this point, like my life is good because of you. But I've not been to work for a month.
Damn, son. I
You
love
know,
to hear that, fam. I love to hear that.
I've not been to month, for a month, but my bills have been paid. I've been traveling, I have whatever thing I wanna do. And that's what I was saying to Gloria and stuff, trust me, you're gonna get there one day. You're gonna get there one day. One day you're gonna be like, you're gonna be calling ants from a plane, like, ants, hell, I'm on a plane. You
Yeah, man. Yeah,
know what I'm
we've had
saying?
some success stories here and I'm very grateful. But I always sometimes feel like, yo, it's still more people I need to at least know you made it somewhere decent. At least, you know.
No, like I'm telling you, you're one of the best. Like I've seen like so many people on Instagram and stuff, whatever TikTok. But you're one of the best students, bro. And I'm one of them. Because like no student can predict, the market like the way your student predict market. You know that.
Mm.
No, like, you can check it online. People post their profits and stuff. They don't post their students, what they make. Because sometimes like it's not about you, it's about your students. It's about people who are like pretty much behind you. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can make so much, you can make it. But if some people who are behind you and making it, that's the goal of you as being a teacher and stuff anyway.
Oh yeah, they said like a mentor is somebody that wants to teach you and see you succeed. There's so many people out here saying that pay them and they'll be your mentor, but they just give you like 30 minutes of their time or an hour and you never hear from them or nothing. And then there's a difference between a mentor and a coach. A coach will take your money, teach you this real quick, and you never hear from them again. So you are a true mentor because you stick around and you're always there and stuff. So
I
Exactly.
appreciate that.
Exactly. That's what
I
I'm
got
saying.
something to say
and you
about
have
that though.
patience, and you have a lot of patience.
If I look, I see it this way. I mean, I'm still figuring out how to structure certain things about my brand. But let's be honest. I know we all know in the heart of hearts. If I were to charge you guys for my time and the mentorship, y'all wouldn't even have made it here.
Nope.
And the price you wouldn't even have understood why somebody charges 10,000 or 5,000. and I'm worth every dime of that. But here's the thing. People don't take account how much work and stubbornness and how much time it might take for them to finally get to a point of understanding and executing and also being profitable on their own. And truth be told, I've seen and I've noticed it's a 20-month, 24-month process. It takes a good 2 years if you really like locked in, because of the different cycles you go through as a trader, and a community where you literally grow up with that community is one of the best experiments of being a product of your environment, right? Now, here's what happens. People be in so many different sauces that by the time they realize like it's not helping their actual growth, it's either too late, they done paid everybody out, they're tired of paying everyone out. So now people got a thing for mentorship and they're like, yo, this, that, and the third. Like, I don't even want people to know I'm not charging y'all so that they don't just come and just expect with the entitlement that they just gonna come in for free. You get me? You guys are my favorites. But the new generation of anybody who would want to learn from me, there's a fee, even if it's a convenient fee, a monthly $65 fee, or whatever, whatever. Like my mentorship, my 6 month. Remember, I was doing 6 month mentorship for 1,000 a year for 2,400 or 2,500, and still I kept y'all in there and I over delivered because I realized it takes a lot more than just showing up and giving y'all charts. It's a lot. It comes with framework, breaking things down, repetition, and sometimes it can burn you out. Some people just don't listen, or sometimes they're battling themselves in many seasons. Now, me, yes, I have patience because I'm a bit of a results driven type of person. I won't stop until I feel like I get to the job. I've noticed that about me in various aspects of my personality. Um, I'm a sadist like that. You get me? I'm performance driven. So, and look, out of everything I've ever touched, trading made me want to improve my own personal self more than anything. So it's like a good drug. And every time my performance got better, I made more without any approval of any boss of anything, right? And even if I needed to take a breather outside or whatever basic job the average salary is offering was never worth it. Now, we're not talking about high tier jobs, IT, trades such as like um what's the word? Just being like an electrician or engineer, different fields, health fields, like clearly these fields are paying high income. But a lot of people don't even have the patience or the aptitude to get to those levels. Trading at this point is like a low tier level for everyone. Experience is sold separately. Okay. I've been at this for 11 years now. And at every level, I've met some of the worst lessons, but lessons big enough for me to learn from and realize that I'm still leveling up. At no point in my career did I ever take a 60K loss or 40K loss until last year. And no, until 2024 as well. That's how I knew I was dealing with new levels. Folks who make multi-millions invest millions and they also lose millions. That's how they're multimillionaires. It's the law. To make $1,000, you're risking at least $300 to $400. To make $10,000, you're risking at least 2,500. That's what they never told you. To make $100,000, you're risking at least $10,000, $7,000 on a trade, $4,000 on a trade, and scaling it up to $12,000 per trade. You might even be risking 20,000, depending on the setup. So when you see somebody have 100K day, oh my God, that's gonna be me one day. No, it's not. You ain't even learned to stomach the smallest of risk. You get me? So to show up means you're still hungry for it because you still know it's levels you haven't tapped and levels you are dying to get to. And when you get to a point in life where it's do or die for you, where you want it as bad as your next meal and you're willing to make the actual sacrifices for it, then you will have what you want to see in life. Okay? Now, risk management is important and sometimes I've tasted it the worst way. I'm like, damn, I shouldn't have lost 40,000 because I was scaling up the account, but I really should have been paying attention to like a max loss. And to me, a max loss should have just been no more than 20%. No matter what happens, you got to close it all if you get into 20% drawdown. I got to 65, and that's when my stomach felt woozy. Then I was like, oh shit, I gotta close. I gotta close. At that time, it was already too late. So I tell y'all stories like this to let you know I've learned the in the worst way what to do better next time. In the worst way. But that's how you learn. And so to be honest, if there's any field where you gotta learn loss so you could get better, it's trading. And if it's any field you could fuck up a bag and still make it back, it's trading. So whether you're losing or not, you're learning and you're actually getting better. You just gotta make use of the of what you learn. So okay, I can't never lose 40,000 like that again. If I'm scaling up, if I get to 12,000 on an account and I risk 2,000 on the trade, 40-point stop loss, and that shit moved $300, that's another $20,000 trade. That account is now jumping from 12,000 to 38,000. And if I lose 2,000, I'm back at 10,000. That's not bad on a 12K account. I had to learn that. Now I know. But people be so caught up in losses. Like I experienced losses in the worst way in Q1 because it's like no matter what I did, it just didn't work. Monday I showed up. I got stopped out because the candle just went 600 pips to the other side. I'm like, what the hell? Okay. You know what? Let me trade Tuesday. I come up the next day. I take a loss because I was actually in profit. Then the candle turned into a wick quick. Didn't even get a chance to move my stop loss. All right. Wednesday market consolidated, and then it consolidated so much that I couldn't tell where it was gonna go. And then in Asia, it just ran. I'm like, what the heck? I don't even trade Asia like that. So I'm so defeated. I don't know what data to use. I'm like, damn, I should have just scalped. But no, I'm not just here just to scalp. That setup usually lasts me 2 hours, and I'm comfortable just like waiting up to 2 hours or maybe an hour. Setup wasn't even lasting that. So I was defeated in many ways in one. And finally, I realized I just needed to take the month off until market conditions got better. So that way I could have enough energy and capital left to continue. I needed to learn that. So I just I just accept the learning aspect that comes with some of the losses and lessons. And that's what makes me resilient because I still know it don't matter how much time I lose. If I could, after a few days, even a week, or even I'm still processing it while I'm driving sometimes, I'm like, damn, let's get back to that conversation. I feel like there's one more thing I added to what I learned from this situation. Damn, yeah, that's true. Because wisdom comes with time and things that you learn the hard way. Now, after I'm fully healed, shit, you best believe I'm back again. I'm back because I done learned so much. I'm even better. And guess what? 2 years, 3 years from now, and what loss? I'm gonna tell you gladly how that loss was like a big factor to me now. Everybody just gonna tell you what, man, I wish I could be just like you. And mind you, you still got the scar and you know how much you had to like improve from that experience. But people gonna tell you, hey, one day that's gonna be me. Oh man. I just don't have the heart like you do. I had to pump mine when it died. Okay? Some things you really have to go through the fire for. There's no in between. There's no going around it. You have to go through. And that's what this journey is made out of. So um I didn't come here to spend too much time. I just really wanted to follow up and show you guys why I wanted y'all to understand on Sunday that we were looking for potential sales. And even though price was buying in New York a bit, but I said, hey, keep in mind if price just sweeps up that New York high and still have not pushed past it, my brother, that's a sell. And I hope your students remembered what we said. And if they missed it today, I hope next time they'll catch it because they know it's like literally ingrained at this point. Okay? May 18th, same situation, right? Monday, New York, they sold, they bought in Asia by 8 a.m., 9 p.m. Where's all this buying coming from? Oh, that's right. They literally just swept above New York range, right? The highs right there. And what did they do next? They sold. They sold. You could have closed this position 4 hours or 3 hours later once it made it to the recent low. But look what happened. Even after it retested in London, by New York, we're right back here. And we even went lower at 9 a.m. So imagine if you understood that as good as sometimes I miss out on these setups where I close too early. I'm like, God damn. Okay, you know what? That's fine. I'm gonna keep learning and get better at it because I can tell how much more I would have made. And I'm like, I know it's gonna be another opportunity like that again. I just gotta study for it and prepare for it better. So here we are today. Same situation. Does that make sense, guys?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, absolutely. No, like I said, well, like I'm a copycat for me, Every day, don't know it sometimes, even sometimes when I make a call, people think that, like I have like, somebody working like, in a federal bank. I'm like, I'm not, it comes from hands, bro. you know, hands. What? Like today, I made 3 calls. Look at that, bro. Look, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like it's not magic. Sometimes you have to understand like what's going on. Like you just have to understand. Like even sometimes you might not agree with your mentor. Like I
Hmm.
said, sometimes you give us information for you to process it and make a decision for your on your own. You know. And sometimes I'm not agree with you. I'm like, okay, I'll say this, but I don't agree. I'm gonna take my own chance.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean that he's wrong. It's just like the past, the perspective is coming from, where it's coming from. That's how the
yeah,
market works. But
correct.
I don't know the day, like no one is wrong in the market. As long as you know what you're doing. Sometimes it might not go on way. Even like today I predicted like Nas like three setup. It came through. But with gold, I know that they're gonna sell. But when they're gonna sell, you know what I'm saying? So they
Yeah,
came, they swept, and guess what? They started selling. So it doesn't mean that I was wrong. It doesn't mean it means that I entered like the wrong time.
right.
It's the wrong time. But I don't know if they like like I said, I'm not here to gloat like to say I'm doing the best and stuff. I'm the best student. I'm not. But what I'm saying like sometimes like I'm just like every time when I call you, I don't call you about anything. I call you to appreciate you most of the time.
That's true.
Like because I don't know the day, man. Like I have a degree in engineering. I have a job. Then I don't like pretty much that. But somebody said like, customer, you can do better. I've been doing better.
Mm,
I've been doing better. You know what I'm saying? Like, no job can pay you 2K in a day. I'm making
Hmm.
5K. I already make 5K and 6K, in most times. Just using the computer and stuff, traveling everywhere in the world. I can be in the plane making money. Doesn't come by, because like it's a magic. It comes back. Somebody touches something like, okay, there's a life beyond whatever life you're living.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So like,
powerful. Big words,
yeah.
though.
No, like that's beyond that. That's how I was telling Gloria. Like, trust me, it's gonna come in. It comes in naturally. It doesn't come within how much you study, how much you know. It comes in naturally based on information you already had. And trust me, most of the time, whatever thing you ever had, whatever thing you ever learned is within whatever information you're looking for. It's always there. It's there. It's just time for you to tap into it and understand, like, oh, okay, I've seen this before. Yeah. And that's what, like, like I said, today, even my prediction, I was on a plane anyway. I'm like, okay, he can come here anyway, but he can't come beyond that. If you come beyond that, that's fine, I lose. But I don't lose more than, $300. If I lose more than $300, I'm gonna close the trade.
Hmm.
That's good. You got your
Your risk management figured
risk
out.
management down. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even gold today. I know that gold was supposed to come down. Started coming down. Then I moved my stop loss to profits. It come down, push it. That's fine. Like I don't lose for anyone anymore. As long as no, I don't do
Yep.
that. I don't lose for as long as you push beyond my my trades. I always move my stop loss to profits. If it's like a $50, I'll hand it. It's my money. It's not yours.
That's right.
It's not. I'll move it. But
That's
I'm
right.
not. I don't take loss. Waiting for trade for 2 hours for it to work out. Then it comes out. Brush my stop loss and walk. Later on and walk out. That's what God did to me today. But I don't really. I did not end up in a loss. But I've moved my stop loss to profit. It was like $200, $200 anyway. They came. They sweep and they started selling it. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I end up with money.
And plus, remember, this is also why I came to this call. Remember, I told y'all it's Memorial Day Monday. The volume will kick in Asia. See, no, I said that, right?
Yes, sir. You said that. I said that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like some people would literally start off a week bad because I mean, it's Memorial Day, but I'm still going to battle it out. Why? It's the third, fourth year since you've been trading. That shit didn't work out then. Why does it have to work out in New York today? Knowing there's no volume. But you also had to tell your mind, hey, look, we're not going to trade much or take too many attempts in New York because we know the volume is coming in Asia. Anyone with a logical mind is going to be like, yeah, all right, let me cool it. Because even if I lose, I'll make back most of my losses anyway in Asia because I know the volume kicking in Asia. So we prepare for it. You know what I mean? I was having the hardest time because for some reason I just kept on getting knocked out on Wednesdays for me to realize that the setup was actually happening. I wasn't wrong. I wasn't tripping. But what I wasn't doing is I was just so caught up with myself. And then the setup played out later in Asia. And I'm so pissed because I'm like, damn, Hans, you see why you should have just stopped attempting it? Asia will give you what you need. So now when I see consolidation, I'm like, oh, got it. I'll pull up in Asia. Or I'll just put in one position, give it enough room, and give it until 3 p.m. to see if it's going to play out. Remember what happened to me last week, guys? I legit lost out on such a beautiful freaking setup because I thought yeah, right there. Because I
Yeah,
thought the
I was
volume
laugh.
wouldn't come in, and then it kicked in by 3.
I
So I
was laughing.
closed by 2:30 p.m. and I was so sick, bro.
I was laughing at that setup because like I got that set up in a minute, and you get out. I'm like, bro, like what the
Right.
hell?
And then you were right to call me out. Like, bro, I thought you was in there. I'm like, bro, I was. It's like, fam, I thought for sure you were in there. I'm like, you know what? He right. I should have been in there. And when I went back into myself, and I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't have closed everything. I should have closed partials. Okay, bet. Think, what do you think I'm gonna do next time? Since it's a marathon and not a race, I'm gonna remember that next time. Don't close everything. Close partials. That's it. I just became 1% better.
But if you remember, even yesterday, like on the webinar, I told people like gold is gonna come to like 5,000, maybe 4,000, 530. And guess what? Guess what tonight? It's happening right now.
Legit.
It's happening right now. They're gonna come to that. From here, let's expect some good buys. To four, 5, 700. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that this week. We're gonna get to that because like the market, like I said, the only thing that manipulates market is news. But if there is no news, the market is really comfortable. It's really comfortable for you to
That's
predict it.
true. That's very true.
It's really comfortable. Like if let's say when like gold was buying, like I know that there's gonna be a gap because like I know there's gonna be a gap, and I know that gap is gonna be fulfilled. Is it they're gonna come back, they tested that area, they're gonna push up. So but hey, you're the boss. But I'm glad that tonight everyone is having fun. And trust me, like yesterday I make like 5K. Like low key I make 5K.
Nice, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I make 5K. I- But hey, I'm happy everyone is having like a good time. But sometimes it's depressing. Sometimes you don't want to talk to anyone. Even like your neighbor, your wife become your whatever it is anyway. But sometimes when you have like a blue day,
You gotta celebrate it.
you're gonna celebrate it. You're gonna
That's it.
celebrate it. You're gonna celebrate it, man.
Yeah. So,
But
guys,
we're not end up this month with with blue ball. We don't end up this month with blue. We're not. Personally, I'm gonna end up with the month with the blue. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna end up with the blue, man.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I'm going
But
to
like I
be
said, I
closing
just
out this.
appreciate you.
Yes,
Trust
sir.
me, one day, I'm gonna buy you a car though, but I'm gonna give you, something.
I'm looking forward to it, Brody. Guys, this was the end of the webinar. Does anybody have anything positive about this webinar that they can say they learned? Uh, anything y'all want to say?
Thanks, Hans, for the refresher. It's always great. Sometimes, we get lost in the sauce, especially when you're having months that or weeks that you might be losing or you're winning some and losing some, but you always bring us back to reality. Thank you so much. You really are a great mentor.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
thank you.
I do want to say something about what D just said, and it ties into something Emmanuel said. Sometimes people are like, bro, I don't even know how you able to come back from it. Man, I'd be fighting. I be fighting because, and sometimes it takes days for me to be back to my normal self. But then those are the days that I become very obsessive. I'm learning, I'm watching, and I'm like, I'm picking up game, I'm picking up gems, I'm picking up stuff, and I'm like, hmm, okay, cool. I see what to do from here. I see what's going on. I see where I went wrong. But when you're not trading um a system or you're learning from certain behaviors so it can help you uh get better, then when you lose, it's not data that you're picking up at all. It's just fluff and frustrations. It's just fluff and frustrations because you don't even know why you lost. You're just mad you lost. You're a sore loser because it's just loss. And that's what's the most frustrating when you're losing with no reason or data to back up why you lost. I wouldn't wish that for any trader.
But you ask a question, whatever people have to say. For me, I'm just grateful, that I do what what I have to do. I'm grateful, like, to your wife because, like, your wife, keeps you, like, the midnight, the late nights. I'm grateful to your wifey. I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful to, like, your family. I'm grateful to like, anyone in the group anyway. 'Cause at the end of the day, all of us, spend so much time, try to figure this shit out. And you
That's
never figure
true.
it out.
That's true.
You never figure it out. So I'm grateful for your time because America, time is money. You know what I'm saying? Like, every minute is money. Where I came from, there's a song called Time is Money. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you spend your time teaching us. Even sometimes you have to motivate us where even when you're down, you have to motivate us for us to be better.
Hmm.
So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for you. It's a Memorial Day, but I'm just be grateful to to your family, to our family because we're family now. I'm grateful to our family. I'm grateful for, like, what you produce. I'm grateful for the knowledge, the understanding, the patience. You know, um, I'm just grateful for me. I'm living my life I wanted to live.
Mm.
You know,
We did say it was going to happen, didn't we?
exactly. Last year, I was told, like, how can I place a trade? What can I do? Like, but I've learned that from you. Like, sometimes, like, you just have to wait for your own time. It's always come to a
That's
time.
true.
It's
Very
always come
true.
to It's always come to a time. And when
You
your
can
time
be
comes,
inspired by somebody else, but be inspired at your own pace. That is a bar, Brody.
exactly. So when your time comes, like, no one is, like, better than you. It's your time. No one is gonna dictate to you. No one is gonna tell you what to do. No one's gonna tell you, like, you used to clock out at this time, you used to clock in at this time. You clock in at your own time.
Hmm.
That's the beauty of trading. You clock in at your own time, you get out at your own time. So I'm grateful to you. Like, just make sure you extend my gratefulness to your wife too. I appreciate you, bro. We've been together for a long time.
Hmm.
For my injury to be walking again, to be lifting weights,
Hmm.
and to me making money.
Damn, I'm
How
a
about
fucking
that?
angel for real at this point in your life. Now that I think about it, damn, you do owe me some money.
How about that, bro? How about that? Yeah, I owe
Yeah.
you, bro. Like, I owe everything. I owe everything. You
Yeah,
know,
I forget you were injured when I did meet you, dog.
yeah. I remember,
What
I
was it?
was
It was lower back, right?
so it was like lower back, I used to work with the walker. Used to have a coach, working out, stuff. You got me right. Say, bro, I
Damn,
got you.
that's crazy, bro.
I got you. You get me right. I started walking again, started lifting weights, get my body right. And guess what now? Your boy is doing good. Like, I'm getting my body's right, money is good. That's what family is happy. Everyone is happy.
Ah, I bet.
It's all it comes because of you. Like, it's just because of you. It's not because of anyone else. Because my degree did not work for me.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? I know that everyone in this group is smart. They have a degree and stuff. But I spent almost 5 years, for me to have my degree.
mm.
5 years to have a engineering degree. You know what I'm saying? I have 2 degrees. Right? I have
Yeah, you
mathematics.
do. Yeah, you do. You do.
Yeah, I have mathematics and engineering at the same time.
Yeah, you're the perfect African. You
But
are the perfect son.
Africans is either become a doctor, become engineering, and nothing else.
Mm,
But at the end of the day, gratefulness to you. Like you taught me, like sometimes you don't need much for you to become much.
Mm,
So
that's facts.
that's my thought anyway. I'm grateful to you, but please, your wife. Ah, well, doctor though. Your wife is a doctor.
She's on her way, bro. All the
Yeah.
blessings, man.
So I'm grateful. I appreciate you. God bless you and your family. But let's make money, bro.
That's it.
One of these days, bro. Let's hang out together. Have your student together. You know,
Let's
let's
do it.
have some wine together.
Let's do it, bro. Let's do it, man.
Mm.
Guys, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Bro, enjoy that trip, bro. You deserve it. If it's
Appreciate you, man.
anybody who deserved it, you do, bro. And don't forget that. All right. Guys, have a good rest of your night. We're gonna keep trading. C note, congratulations on catching that sell. Hope you close out some profit, bro.
Yes, sir. I'm still in it. I'm looking for it to go down to
The gap.
like yeah, like 790.
Yeah, okay.
Who is that? Is that Brown?
No. That's not DB. That's not DBB known.
Oh, Brown is my dude, bro. Brown is my dude.
I keep telling you his name not Brown. His name is De Jour.
The J is my dude, but he's my dude. Like that motherfucker, like is good. Like he and is it Van something Versace and stuff?
No,
Versatility
no,
is key.
I'm new to the chat, man. My name is Sino. It's nice to meet you. I've only been with Hans probably just about since like the top of the year, maybe. But I
Yep.
haven't joined too many lives. Just follow his videos, the psychology boot camp. I don't know if you all have checked that out, but it definitely helped me become more consistent.
All the
For
time.
sure.
Every weekend I have, I watch those videos all the time. I promise you. I'm a freak
Wow.
on those videos. I'm a freak. And, I'm a freak on those videos. I watch them all the time. Like every weekend, like I would just watch that. Okay, I missed something. Okay, this is what I got. This is what I got. Like all the
That
time.
man's obsessive. Obsession always gets to the road ahead. I met C Note in 2023, and he was a Fortune's funding contender. He got his payout, and I was responsible for doing the interviews. Just the other
Okay.
day, I actually saw on Google Drive like old interviews, and I was trying to delete them, but I couldn't. So I was like, oh damn, wow, okay. But yeah, yours is probably in there somewhere, fam.
And what I'm saying, like you have one of the best students. You're gonna be proud of anything. Part of your student though, they're doing good.
Trust me, bro. I am, man.
Part of your student, but I don't know, like yeah, like I said, I've been so many group chats and stuff. But the way you put it, your students are producing, I don't think any group chats, the students are producing the way your students are producing.
Yeah, it's definitely some out there, but we're definitely one of them ones, man.
Mm.
Hey, yeah, I see James got the chat pause. Everything all good. Just working on back end stuff.
Man, I hope he is. We haven't spoken about that. The last time he called me, there was this issue with payment processing, but I'm sure he's just as obsessive working on some things. I'm just giving him his time to do what he does. Um, but he did FaceTime me about like 3 weeks ago, and I was at the bank, and yeah, I would love to see Fortune's funding take its stride because there's just too many delays, too many setbacks. But it's not like he wanted that to happen. But yo, at some point we gotta move. You feel me? We gotta be moving.
Yeah.
And
Come on, ask. Like, hey, every student say one more time for Hans though. One more time. One more time. One more time for Hans. He's the best coach of all time. Can everyone say that?
Round of applause.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's the best coach of all.
appreciate
One more
y'all,
time.
man.
One more time.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all.
We
Appreciate y'all.
appreciate you, man. We appreciate you, bro. Like, hey,
Thank
let's
you,
get
bro.
this money, bro. Let's get this money.
All
One day,
right. I want to see more of y'all succeed. That's all I want.
I still live in Virginia, though. I live in like a military place, but it's quiet. It's money.
Sound
But
good.
but
I
guess
like
what,
that.
though? It's my boy. I know him from day one. I know him from day one. You know what I'm saying? Like putting like those tights.
Who would have thought, right?
Come on, bro. those
Yes,
little
sir.
tights, what are joggers and stuff,
Right.
and with your sleeves, with your great sleeves.
No, don't do that. Don't do it. But guys,
uh,
this was fun. This was fun. We're gonna close it out, and y'all have a great rest of your night. And we're gonna stay profitable. Gonna keep catching these pips and keep getting better. All right, guys. Talk to
bro,
y'all
you have a
soon.
good
All right,
night,
Hans.
Peace
Thanks.
and
Good night.
blessings.
and say hi to your wife, you okay? We
I
we
got
appreciate
you.
that too.